my stupid Twitch link. I can't just get it from the stream dashboard anymore. That's good enough.
I was kind of waiting for you to do this on like some night this week.
I wanted to play this game after you beat it, and
As I understand it, I didn't beat the game. Like, I got credit.
You got an ending.
You got an ending. Like,
Yeah.
is beating Graham in Aria and beating the game?
Basically, it isn't. That's the thing.
Well, you missed.
That's what bugs me about.
You beat it, but there's more to beat, is how it goes.
Yeah.
But we won't spoil anything past what you saw for a while. Hello, Mastasaw. I got Jens and Kaz with me today.
Hi.
Sort of, arguably, I'm gonna be.
Well,
send an email.
Yeah, Kaz will be available to yell at me, and then Jens will be available to.
I do have one important thing to share, of course, but that can wait.
So, I'm not going to watch the entire opening movie, but there is one thing I want to point out that I didn't notice the first time I played the game. Maybe you guys didn't either. First thing is Sengoku period.
Because I didn't notice anything.
Sengoku period. This is like the 1600s. Nobunaga is either alive or died like a year ago. The internal ministry that they refer to is probably the Tokugawa shogunate. But here's the thing I wanted to show. This guy with the sword. He just got flipped over. That's Ishin.
What?
Yeah,
that's Ishin?
That's Ishin. He's missing an eye, like Ishin is. And he has the same voice.
Oh, well, I wouldn't have noticed that.
Yeah, it's like a thing.
That's rad.
Plus, he's got the big head crest.
But he was doing ninja moves.
Yeah, but this is like much, much earlier, because like we're gonna see the wolf as a child here on the battlefield.
Yep. Kinsei Ishin Ashida. Okay, I'm gonna skip wolf.
Oh, they just literally say it. Okay.
Well, no, they say Ishin won the United Ashina. While that guy is on screen, I never put together that might have been Ishin. At 20 years after Ishin Coup. I said coup because I'm a goober. Okay, I'm not going to pick up this letter. Even if you don't pick it up, Wolf, when he meets Emma in Ashina Castle, will say, "You're the one who threw that letter," even though Kinsei does mean sword saint. You know, it's like a semi-traditional title that is bestowed upon whoever is the greatest living swordsman at the time. The most famous one was Miyamoto Musashi, who, also, by the way.
Wait, what?
This wants you to do stealth, but you do not have to do stealth.
Oh, okay.
And I can't run, so I'm jumping.
Speedrun tactics.
I guess I didn't recognize that as odd now that I've done the full game, you know?
Just a bit goofy. Here's a cutscene.
Are we doing this with the charm?
I will definitely be doing additional hardships. So we got Kusabi Maru. Kusabi just means linchpin. Maru is a suffix applied to words to make it into a masculine name. It means either round or perfect or cute. So I like to think of...
So like Shishimaru from Black Lion.
Yep, Shishimaru.
I guess cute killer?
Or just little killer.
Yeah,
which is why...
Little killer.
Oh my god.
The ninja tool Sabi Maru. Sabi just means rust. So I would have translated it as little rusty.
Ah, Rusty Boy.
A little rusty.
Rusty.
Yeah, so Kuro gives you the little gourd. So any time if you've completed the game on whatever you're playing on, it doesn't have to be New Game Plus, but if you've completed the game at all, you get the option to Kuro's Charm appears in your inventory, and you can give if you keep it in your inventory, the game stays like it was your first time playing. If you give it back to Kuro, the game changes. I'm gonna turn the game up. I turned it too quiet. But I'll have to wait until I can press the start button.
It's held your suffering at bay. That's not ominous at all.
Yeah, and so handing this off to Kuro is effectively adding, again, additional hardships.
Yeah, and the game makes sure you want to give it back to him. Like, you get two. This game's very nice about that. Anytime you would fuck yourself over or make a permanent change, they're saying, "Are you sure you want to do that?"
Yeah, that's basically a correct way to do it.
And this one, you choose the top to initiate it, but you have to choose the bottom to complete it. So insist he takes it, and then Wolf says this. Suffering is what I desire.
Great, now I feel seen. After all that, you have to show me, like, how I was wrong about my evaluations of the game because of what it contains within it. You're like, Kaz, by the way, actually...
So we call this hard mode additional hardships or further hardships because they get this dialogue box. You've chosen the path of additional hardships.
Yeah, this game has, 3 different difficulty sliders?
Yes, they all make the game harder. None of them make the game easier. You have New Game Plus. Each cycle of New Game Plus makes the game harder. You have the Bell Demon, which makes the game harder. And then you have additional hardships, which makes the game harder.
I thought you guys were going to talk about just ignoring upgrades. Because you can, like, not increase attack power, not increase health, and not unlock moves.
Yes.
I've done 2 of those. Birdhead's done the other one. So I threw myself off the cliff there. Because I wanted my health back.
Without eating.
Without eating my only potion. So I got a little thing under my health bar there that shows that...
yeah, look at that.
To show that I've got hard mode on. I'm going to turn the game up. Let's try 9.
Great. The cat knows I'm in a conference call now, so he's being very insistent that, no, I should pay attention to him, actually.
Let's try... I think I have the game turned down in the game, so I'm going to turn it up to 11.
And also with the additional hardships, I believe you can undo that choice.
You can. You can undo it, but you can't redo it.
Right, but you can also only undo it
and once
when when Kuro's around.
You can undo it through the sculptor.
Oh, can you?
Yeah, the sculptor has Kuro's charm for some reason, and you can talk to him at any point to get the charm back.
Okay, cool. So, I thought you actually had to talk to Kuro and get it back, which means like you're stuck doing the first half of the game.
So here's the main thing additional hardships does. Here's the big thing. You take chip damage when you block.
Oh, I thought that was always the case.
Nope.
No.
Oh, well.
You take chip, enemies have more attack and vitality, enemies drop more experience and money. I think they drop more money. And they're just harder.
Ooh, does it, like, unlock attacks for them? Like, do they behave differently?
Not really. The only game change it really makes is oh shit. I'm not gonna fight this guy. He only drops a pellet.
Yeah, it's literally 1 pellet.
But, he doesn't drop beads?
Nope.
Nope.
You don't get
beads. He has
2
hearts, but he doesn't drop prayer beads?
He's the tutorial.
What a cheater.
Yeah, he cheats.
What a cheater.
Like, you don't get beads until you have 1 fake arm.
Alright, here's
Here's a goblin.
a goblin. Then like another pellet, yeah.
I'll point out another thing when I'm fighting Genichiro. I want to try to kill Genichiro.
It's a good fight.
Yeah. You fight him so often, I kind of have all of his moves in my brain. So I haven't streamed this game since it came out. I've clocked about 200 hours in it, I think. So I've played it a lot. Have you played it since, Jens?
I have played it some more. I have not done the last bit I wanted to, which was like a full playthrough for the last round I hadn't done.
Ooh.
So
Here's Mr. Genichiro.
I was kind of planning on it, but I wanted to knock out Bravely Second before I come back to this game. Give myself some time to cool off. Wait until I want to, you know, not enjoy myself exactly. I mean,
get into the gravy.
Well, yeah. I mean, every time I stream it, you know, someone says to me, "Kaz, you don't seem to be enjoying this," and I try to say some version of, the point is not to enjoy it.
Here's a cute thing.
I don't derive satisfaction from this game, really. No, I do derive satisfaction. I don't derive enjoyment.
Ah, that's an important distinction. It's like a goober there. Wolf was nervous, so when he drew his sword, his hand stumbled for a second.
That's kind of cute.
It's a very tiny... It's because, okay, I've been living in a well for 3 years. Time to fight the badass swordman alive.
And Genichiro fights basically the same as like the rooftop fight, you know, obviously without the
I
lightning.
should probably heal.
But, you know.
That's my one healing potion.
So if you fought Genichiro enough, this fight just becomes second nature.
Yeah, he has all the same moves. The trick with Genichiro... Oh, shit.
Oh, that was
Trick with Genichiro is you want to keep the pressure up.
I could never get the like jump on head timing to make sense.
All this time, I still can't really parry the full floating passage combo.
Yeah, I can see a little bit of chip coming through, but not too much.
Yeah, the chip really lets you know when you do it or not. Yeah, you can deflect thrusts. I never did it until I did a playthrough where I didn't buy any skills. We're just like, oh shit, McCreary counters a skill.
Yeah. Boy, did I learn that early on.
Yeah, the spear guy who's like,
hey,
what
do I do about this spear guy? He seems to have like unlimited re-aim and.
Okay, I'm gonna back off.
Yeah,
posture.
You would fall over to that.
Okay, he's dead. Wazoo!
Yep. Yeah.
Game over. We beat Genichiro.
Oh, good.
And that's another
one doesn't get kidnapped in the first place. We've done it.
We can just escape. We keep our arm. We don't do any of that stupid bullcrap. Wait, what? A hungamunga?
So if you're watching that scene, you might think, wait, did the stream stutter while the like shuriken was flying? That's the game.
Yeah, the game does that in a couple different cutscenes where, like, in between scene transitions, it stutters briefly. I don't know if that's PC only or... A shinobi should know the difference between honor and victory.
But yeah, this is consistent with what Demon Souls and.
Yep, you can beat the first Vanguard demon, but then the Dragon God murders you.
Right.
He has a Nightjar Ninja who throws a hungamunga at you.
Yeah, I guess just Demon's Souls did that. I can't remember what the equivalent in like Bloodborne was. They just sort of let you go into the world.
Yeah, you're supposed to die to the wolf in Bloodborne, but you don't have to. You can just run away.
It's a pretty like soft kind of thing.
Okay, so I'll talk to Sculptor just to show that I often go the whole game without talking to Sculptor, but...
Okay, there it is, yeah.
Yeah, just avoid additional hardships. I like Sculptor a lot. in Japanese, he calls you "omae-san," which I think Burnhead helped me figure out means like someone or guy. So he's being very cavalier with you. Like, so he's basically like
Is he calling you my dude?
He's my dude, or like Mr. Somebody or Mr. Nobody, something like that.
Whoever, this fucker.
Those are this fucking guy.
Plus, he's got maybe the Japanese voice cast in this game is really good, and then the English is okay. Spanish has one really good part.
Tell me how the French is. How's
French?
I thought the French was pretty good.
French was okay. I didn't like
I don't know what these
French-ishin at
people are
all.
supposed to sound like. So
yeah?
I didn't.
basically sounded fine.
I didn't like French-ishin.
Well, that's because no French. No, I'm not gonna face that. Retracted.
Retracted. No French person retracted.
Yep. Gonna paper over that one and pretend that it didn't even form the thought.
I'm picking up that idol, even though I'm never going to use it again.
The like super close by idol.
Yeah.
I love flying around like Spider-Man in this game.
Yeah. It really makes you feel like Spider-Man.
I like it up to a point, and the point is at the point where they stop letting it be more of a freeform thing, like in this first area, and start making it like the required progression technique that only works in like basically one direction.
The like figuring out what points are hittable is always
Yeah, it can be pretty punishing.
funky.
If you don't, there's a few of them that are pretty easy to miss, and if you miss them, then you can start going on wild goose chases. So
The Valley has a lot of those from memory.
We're gonna kick this guy's ass. Yes, perilous attacks.
Look, if you beat Genichiro, the game should just stop giving you tutorials.
Oh shit. No, speaking of, about to get tutorialized.
I do like tutorialized as jargon for defeated. Oh, I'm gonna tutorialize your ass. Or especially like defeated in such a way where you just do the same move several times and your opponent doesn't know what to do about it. That's what happens when you tutorialize someone.
Right, I don't have any healing upgrades, so pellets really suck.
I have a lot of distaste for pellet.
Pellets?
I don't like life gem it being in the game as a restricted item.
Yeah, you can only carry so many of them.
Well, that you also can't buy infinite of them.
Yeah, you should be able to buy them once you unlock the thing that Cass hasn't seen yet.
Well, just like there should be somewhere in the game that rather than farming, that pellets are infinite.
Or if not infinite, just a lot of them. Like if there was a guy who sold like 20 of them.
I mean, the perfect balancing feature is right there in the game already, where when you restore when you rest at a point, your values get restored, right?
Right, and
make it another one of those.
You can only carry 3 pellet. So like,
how many can you carry? I think it's 3. It's 3.
Yeah, it's 3 pellets. So like
that I understand because they want to.
That's a good restriction. That's the restriction that works.
Because in Dark Souls 2, you could carry literally hundreds of healing items.
Let's see, 99 life gem. Or no, was it? I don't actually think there was a 99 limit.
I don't remember.
But anyway, like
that's not a grabbing wall.
That's not a grabbing wall.
That is
99. 99 life gem, 99 big life gem. You're getting blown the heck up.
I'm safe. I'm not gonna die until I fight the ogre. The ogre will probably kill me because I'm on hard mode.
I really liked the times when the ogre suplexed me off a cliff.
I got
Ogre has some moves.
Yeah, the ogre is second only to the ape in in grab attacks with gigantic hitboxes.
I think the best part about it was the first 3 times I fought him, that never happened, and then the following several times, he would just immediately grab and suplex me off a cliff.
Hey, what up?
I didn't even get one move in. What the hell?
Look, that's... Oh, chicken.
Yeah, chicken's attacking me. So here's an NPC. I don't think Jin's ever found on his own. I don't know if you found him, Kaz.
Oh, the guy like up high who's like a... You guided me to where he was.
Nah, this guy.
I think. Oh, no, I found this guy.
Ah.
I never found this dude. I think I murdered this dude.
You attacked him in Hirata Estate. And I said, I wonder what happens when you find him outside now that you've attacked him. but then you never found him. Well, he's a merchant. You gotta buy information from him first. And then he uses the money to go buy items. And then he gives you a hint about where to get a shinobi tool. Later he'll have items, and it took me a long time to figure out what Samurai wanted. One of his quests is, you're a shinobi, could you find out what Samurai want for me? I was like, sure. Like, what is Samurai?
Trying to like date all samurai? What is
probably
what's the idea there?
He sells stuff now. He sells the Phantom Kunai upgrade material that lets you have shuriken that have options like Lady Butterfly has.
Huh.
It's a high level upgrade though. It's okay.
Ooh, that reminds me. Shinobi Tools reminds me.
Mm-hmm.
I think I want to say I completed your task.
What was my task? I don't.
You had assigned me a task, which was find a use for divine abduction.
Yes.
And I want to say with some confidence that I succeeded, and I can tell you what that is, what it's good for, what its use case is.
Come on, guy.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
It's meant for instantly defeating semi-tough guys. Like, they're not tough enough to have multiple hearts, but they are tough enough to, like, feel adjacent to enemies who do. Like the shotgun wielders.
Yes.
Who seems like there's nothing you can do about them. Or, and this is really brilliant, in the area where you, like inside the Buddhist temple, where there are the guys who have the centipedes inside them, and after you've gotten the mortal blade.
Ooh,
yes.
You can abduction those guys.
You can abduction them, and they just instantly die, and they don't do anything.
Oh my god, that's okay. That's a good one because I hate those enemies.
Yeah.
So here's a tactic.
The first time I tried fighting one fair, like it ate all of my health. I couldn't get a hit in. I couldn't block anything. I'm like, what do you even do? But yeah, just use divine abduction, and poof. You get a death blow, and then you get another death blow, and they're done.
Additional hardships makes enemies harder, more health, more damage. Makes chip damage happen, and they drop more experience and money. I'm fairly certain about the experience. They might not drop more money. I'm pretty sure Demon Bell just makes them drop items more often, which is the other hard mode we'll be doing. So I lured the ogre out, and then ran away so he would de-aggro, so that I could do this.
Oh my god.
There are, for a lot of bosses in the game, not all of them, because some of them like just have entries you can't like sidestep, but a lot of them like as long as they don't have a cutscene entry, you can get the drop on them.
There's a few.
And even some that you can, and even some that do have a cutscene entry. I think of one in particular.
Yes.
Who all of a sudden you can just on their second pip get them.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, I want to say I spent a lot of time trying to figure out how to get the first heart for free off of a lot of enemies.
Look, it halves the length of a fight.
So
like,
I never found the smart way to fight the ogre, so this is what I do. I run around and then fight him like a bullfighter. Which is
wait
also
till charge.
Yeah, wait till he does something and then charge attack him. This is also my tactic against the bull, which is why... Oh shit, he got me.
Oh.
I'm dead.
Oh wow, you are dead from full on hardship.
Just might as well heal, but it's not going to do a whole lot.
It prevents you from dying to a kick, I
One thing
think.
that I never figured out about this guy is what it means when you get a grapple point on his head.
It lets you close the distance, and if for some reason you have the Shinobi ability, it does stagger them, and you can chop him on your way there. But at this point in the game, it's not as useful. But this guy...
Right, like how would you have that ability at all?
You would have had to farm, like, I think 4 or 5 skill points and then used it on a grapple ability.
I think it's a cheap ability. I think it might only be 1, and it's one of the opening ones.
Oh, I thought it was like 2 on a... Okay, well...
And the requirement, I think, is having... It's a Shinobi ability, so you need 2 Shinobi tools for the guy to give you the skill book. Come on, buddy.
Okay, I am definitely getting busy at this point, so I'm gonna...
Yeah, I'll let you know when it's safe.
Okay.
Nice, give me the shoulder drop.
People's elbow!
He reminds me more of Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, the kick does. I mean, it kind of is the people's elbow with the elbow, though.
Yeah. What was Hulk Hogan's move? It's been so long since I've seen Hollywood Hulk Hogan wrestle.
I think he actually did have an elbow drop, now that I'm thinking about it. Yeah, but I'm saying, I don't think I've seen a Hulk Hogan wrestle match in decades for obvious reasons.
Yeah, because he's old and racist and got shunned. But I've dated myself because when I did watch Hulk Hogan, he was Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Mm-hmm.
Where he wore black and dyed part of his beard. I wish you could get him to jump kick off of the cliff. Okay, he's dead.
Oh, God.
Hesitate and you lose.
Yep, you go for it. That's...
And you get Shinobi medicine from him. Certain fights just have skills tied to them. So you can't actually beat the game without acquiring skills, because there are required bosses that just have them. Santa with muscles. Yes, I've streamed that movie.
How about 3 Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain, everybody? Yeah,
that's a movie with more views than Santa with muscles. Okay, I'm not fighting the ogre anymore.
I'm having a difficult time trying to parse what you guys are saying as sentences. It sounds like Simlish, like
oh shit,
language speak, just sort of. Oh no, a lizard.
A guy followed me down here. So lizards, like centipedes, have an instant kill. You just jump towards them and they get a death blow.
Yeah, I want to say I did discover that. Like it trained me at some point. They were like, "Oh, just jump on them," and it's like,
yeah.
"Oh, okay." I don't like jumping.
It's
try to get a Dark Souls player to jump. I did.
Right.
This game, I experienced this game much different than you guys did, because in like the first patches of the game, I mean, after some patches of the game, they added a lot of loading screen hints that just told you shit. So like jumping on crawling enemies, that got added as a loading screen tip. How deflecting works. I'm about to blow your mind, Kaz.
What's that?
How many frames do you think you have for your deflect timing? How many frames is it to deflect?
I mean, it felt like a lot for some. It felt like upwards of 4 frames.
The deflect timing for like Dark Souls 3 is 6. So you have a 1/10 of a second to get it. In this game, it's 30.
Jesus fucking.
You have a half second up on the deflect.
But if you feather the button, it drops down to 6. So if you mash, deflecting gets harder. But if you just sort of feel it out, the timing is extremely generous.
I did feel like it was extremely generous. I wouldn't have thought like 30 whole frames.
Yep. Yeah, a full half second.
It is very generous.
I wonder I felt like I was succeeding despite being an idiot.
then conversely, I literally am always flickering the blade.
Yeah, so
always.
He was just making it harder for himself.
So I was just playing under Dark Souls 3 parry timings. Like for me, I was like, wow, this parry timing is really harsh.
Do I have? No way.
There's a reason. There's a reason I blocked a lot. Like
yeah, blocking in the game is pretty good unless you're playing the game hard. Like, let's get the bell from this lady. I'm not your son.
This isn't my house.
So this old lady appears in Hirata Estate. And so does this guy. And this is the guy who gives you the snap seeds in Hirata Estate. And man, he just can't catch a break.
3 years later.
3 years later, he's still blind. Okay, here's
He's still laying on the ground, like, half dead. Is that a chicken outside?
There's 2 chickens outside.
Oh my god.
I went there for money. Guess there's 300 sin laying around. Which is enough to let me buy the firecrackers, which are my personal favorite shinobi tool.
I'm pretty confident that I spent the most spirit emblems making firecrackers happen. It was a pretty reliable thing. At first I internalized, use it on beasts, and then I'm like, but humans are mammals.
Yeah,
everyone hates
nobody likes getting their eyes blinded with firecrackers.
Yeah. I ended up using the Mist Raven, and not just because it was called the Mist Raven.
There's a shinobi tool called Mist Raven, Kaz.
What the hell is that?
We'll get it pretty soon, actually.
Oh, okay.
You'll be able to show it off here pretty quick. It's hidden in Hirata Estate, if I remember right.
You remember the 3-story pagoda memo you bought? That gets you the Mist Raven, if you follow it.
I'm gonna disappear for like 10 minutes. I believe beans are finished, so now I have to move on to step 2 here.
Beans.
So,
Lady Emma, one of the only NPCs shorter than Wolf. Okay, is that a shard you found?
I feel like Wolf has a tiny head. Like, even for being a short dude, he has a real tiny head.
He kind of does have a tiny head. Let's get some shinobi tools.
Oh, that's another thing I kind of regret about my playthrough. I found like 2 ninja techniques ever, and like by the time I found the second one, I was already like kind of past the place where you're supposed to use it.
Like the shinobi techniques?
I don't think the shinobi, the specific like ninja magic that comes later.
The ninjutsu. Ninjutsus are weird in this game. They're never required. They're just kind of like, blood smoke is like the useful one. There's some puzzles you're supposed to solve with the ninjutsu one, or no, the puppeteer ninjutsu.
Yeah. Like I kind of once I discovered it, I thought back to that area with the snake and the ape.
The snake is You're supposed to. If you puppet the ape, it distracts the snake for you. There's also the kite that you can fly. But if you puppet the little goblin next to the kite, he'll fly the kite for you.
Oh no! I was gonna ask you what the hell is up with the kite, because it looked like if I could only get it to stay out there, then I would be able to grapple across to another area.
This guy's not giving.
But I didn't bother trying to figure that out.
He's not giving me the thing I want yet, which is the other skill book. Here's Shinobi Arts. He should give me the prosthetic arts. Hello, Gur. Friend Tactful Gur. Let me just travel. Man, I guess I should try to get the Bell Demon. This isn't going to work, but I'll try it. All I'm really going to do is cost myself some confetti. So, over here, there's the sign that says, "Don't come here, there's ghosts." And 1 confetti? There's probably no way I can beat this guy in 1 confetti. I mentioned it. It mentions you can't behead the headless. There's a headless over here.
I did eventually discover that. I have yet to defeat any headless. Well, I defeated the headless ape, of course, but
yeah,
not the enemies that are just called headless. I
We're-
decided that they were too hard, and I just went away.
Yeah, they're all bonus, they're all easily avoidable, and they all, almost all of them, there are actually some that don't require divine confetti to even, like, fuck with. It's like how you need to be cursed.
It's like they're ghosts, right?
Yeah, you have to...
You need to curse, and... General Tenzin!
Yep. Tenzin is one of my favorite names for... I had a tabletop character named Tenzin in one of Jin's 13th Ages games. He was very violent.
That doesn't sound like you at all. I appreciate that you're trying to, you know, branch out into...
He was a monk, and his character was he had lived in a monastery as like an orphan, and the monks were all very boring, and wanted to. It was 13th Age Irish nonsense, so he was a monk, and he just wanted to, and the monks just wanted to like achieve purity or whatever through like training their bodies. But Tenzin hated that and didn't want to, so he thought, what if I just go out and use my kung fu powers to get rich as a thief and do whatever appeals to me at the moment. That's what Buddha did. Except he didn't use his kung fu, he used his money. Because at first he tried to be an ascetic, and then he tried living it up rich, and he found the middle path. Okay, is there a guy down here? Nope. Nope, time to kill this guy. Also, he exploded people with his hands. Both Buddha and Tenzin. Oh, shit. I've never been that great at fighting this enemy type, because you can usually just kind of cheese them. So I never got good at fighting them, I just kind of overpower them. He's gonna try to grab me. Nope, okay. Oh god, what movie was that, Kaz? I must die to prove that Buddha exists.
That was Shaolin versus Llama.
Shaolin versus
Very
Llama.
end. Yes.
Classic.
I'm glad that I could share that movie with you guys. I like it a lot.
It's an important movie.
It was my formative kung fu movie, and might still be my favorite.
It's near the top. It's extremely good. Time for Snake. I like the Snake set piece. It feels a little out of place because it's a set piece, but... Ah, my Windows license will expire soon. That pops up because I have to cheat to keep my Windows activated. I got a legal copy of Windows 10, and then I had to cheat to get it back. So my Windows is both pirated and legal at the same time.
That sounds correct.
Hi, Jens.
Hello. I'm back.
We're sneaking.
See, we're dodging.
We're dodging a snake and Microsoft. Yeah, I legally stole it and then had to re-steal it. Because I got Windows 10 by the free accessibility software upgrade they did for it. Or if you used any Windows 7... That's probably fine. Nope, it's not fine.
Nope.
I'm dead. How are your beans?
Good. They finished at the same time the rice did, so everything went well.
Burrito.
Yes.
Are these the beans you bought a lot of? Do you still have those beans and trying to get through them?
Ran out of them, so I bought more.
Shit. I hope they're just like red beans or brown beans. I hate navy beans.
No, they're just brown beans.
I got traumatized by navy beans growing up because my mom cooked them all the time. And you have to boil them for a long time, and they smell like farts while they're boiling.
Mm. Bump.
Bonk.
That didn't actually hurt you.
Nope.
That's kind of weird.
And he doesn't notice because he's so big. You're also supposed to hide behind these icicles. Okay, this time...
Go for it. Get in it.
I will get into the pelican. I just have to wait for him to turn his head.
Why does it have whiskers? Snakes don't have whiskers.
Snakes do not have whiskers. I don't know what it is either. It's like frost or something. Time for blood. You get extremely bloody doing this.
This whole sequence is just like...
It's cool.
Well, it's the first point in the game
Or something blatantly supernatural, like
right, truly breaks with reality. Like, look, okay, my ninja has 2 lives. Yeah, okay, you know, like that's I can just buy that.
Like, you have a shinobi arm. Cool. But then, okay, giant fucking snake.
It's like the rule of, what is it, like 15 minutes in your film, you give free reign to do whatever the fuck. And then past that point, like, everything feels like bullshit because you're pulling it out of your ass. That's me paraphrasing a lot, but...
That sounds roughly right.
The idea is that, like, you have, like, an amount of time at the beginning of any, like, piece of media to establish the world you're in. And, like, okay, you know, you like, as somebody who is just choosing to consume it, you go, okay, yeah, you know what? That's fine, you know, that makes sense. But, like, once you're past that 15, like, okay, anything you pull out past that feels like, wait a minute.
So
and that's why I do not like Ava.
There's a goblin over here.
Hmm.
And he drops this. He tells you about snap seeds.
Herb catalog scrap? What?
It's like flavor text about what snap seeds are. And you only get it if you notice that there's a goblin over here. If you, like, walk over here, he walks towards you. So, he's easier to spot than it might seem.
And that's what I've heard as well, Mastazar.
So, the only shinobi tool I want right now is Firecracker. Is there any treasure around here I want? Might be some money. So I will need money because there's a memorial mob over here who sells a gourd seed. You did a good job of finding gourd seeds, Kaz, I think.
Well, I mean, you directed me to several.
One.
Well, okay, that was before... I could swear that you had directed me to another one.
I may have.
But, anyway.
I'm getting goobered. Just looking for money.
Yeah, they're kind of all around at this point.
Yeah, I specifically remember you directing Kaz to one in, like, Mibu Village or whatever.
Yeah, that one I bought with
was...
channel points.
That's rough. Like, and, like, I would not have gone there without some direction, because it was just, like, a whole squad of respawning guys, and I'm like, screw that. I don't want anything to do with that.
Me and you have very different views on treasure. I feel like there's another gourd seed I could have, but I don't remember where it's at. So I'm just going to find...
If it had been, like, a treasure chest, I might have pushed harder for it, but it was one of these, right? So I look around at those in the world, I'm like, that's just another fistful of ash, who cares?
Right. Hi, Gyobu, Oniwa.
Come here, Gyobu. I want to kill you.
So, one thing I did learn, and can talk about now, because one thing I did do after I beat the game was watch a speedrun.
Yeah, the speedrun of this game's wild.
The speedrun ends on the ending that...
the sure ending.
Yeah, on the ending that you did, Kaz, so...
That doesn't surprise me. I felt like I didn't do much extra stuff.
Hmm. Like,
good to be validated, though.
Yeah, this boss has a quick kill. I
can't do it on this patch.
Yeah, there's so way to the back of this area, there's a ledge, kind of to the right. Yeah, to the right of where we're currently facing, there's a ledge. And you can get high enough to, like, get Gyobu confused, and he'll just run directly off the ledge like a dragon,
Honestly,
like Dragon Slayer Knight.
I think he got confused in every time I fought him. Like, he did some weird stuff. He would run directly into the wall for, like, 30 seconds at a stretch, and I'm like, dude, are you okay?
Yeah, Gyobu has, which is, I guess, why it's not so surprising. There is a way to...
I'm dead. But I still live.
Yeah, right back there on the left.
Shadows die twice.
Ho, ho, ho.
The Shadow's probably gonna die. Yeah.
Hey, you got a refill, though.
Yep.
You got another life.
Get my bead back. Okay. Yep, Kaz beat Emma. It's weird, when we say Emma, we usually refer to Imrakul, the Aeon's Tour.
No, there's a character literally named Emma.
Yeah, there is, but...
But yeah, no, I beat Emma and Ishin. I felt really happy about both of those fights by the time I finally, like, won.
Yeah,
Ishin is, I think, one of my favorite fights in any video game now that I've done it.
Yeah, it's, I enjoyed your reaction of, like, wow, this was such a, like, difficult uphill fight. It's like, oh, credits. You know, like...
I'm like, wow, why? Geez, why was this fight so, like, challenging?
I was like, oh, wait, that's why!
And I'm like, oh, well.
I'm going to think. Take it with my human brain.
Watching you do this is making me feel much better about the game.
Yeah?
I hope that's... I'm not trying to, like, smack talk you by saying that or
No,
anything.
no, no.
I mean,
This game's hard.
I mean it, like... it's humbling. This game is humbling.
No, I can only have 2 potions here as far as I know. Because there's...
This game is quite an ass kicking.
No, I can't have 3. Do I just have a gourd seed in my
Can't get another gourd seed in Hinata?
No, not in Harada, but I think there's one after... Do I have one in my inventory? I do. Classic. In Harada, I can go get a prayer bead, which will also let me level up my body. Yeah, this game has a lot of Buddhist stuff in it. Shura is a Japanese form of the word Asura, which is a demon or demigod of war or rage. You know, as in Asura's Wrath, that guy. So the Shura ending is with Wolf no longer having anything at all holding together the violence his life has been made out of. He just kind of goes over the deep end.
And starts on fire.
He becomes a demon. Okay, 3 gourds.
Yep. In this game, it's a spin-off of the notion from toxic masculinity that men are barely contained balls of anger and have to adhere to a strict moral code that we define and prescribe that includes like buying trucks and so on.
So I'm just
you'll become a rage demon if you don't buy truck nuts.
I'm imagining 2 things here. One is Wolf buying a pickup truck and just driving that around, but 2 is the rage of Akuma being sated. Instead of having to do the raging demon, he just buys a truck with some truck nuts and
right.
He's fucking.
I know. I mean, yes, I am being like intentionally quite a bit silly about it, but
yeah,
this is a real world concept and has like dangerous consequences that wouldn't happen in the Tokugawa shogunate necessarily, and the interpretations of Buddhism and classic religious studies, but do happen in a violence-filled video game that's released in 2019.
Yes, and another thing is poor Wolf here. His life has sucked. This game is full of orphans. He's one of them. Almost all of the main characters in the game are orphans or have adopted an orphan. Sculptor, adopted an orphen. Ishin, adopted an orphan. Genichiro, orphan. Kuro, orphan.
No,
Emma, orphan.
Everyone's lives have been torn apart by war. No one can form long-lasting relationships with one another.
No, I think the people have formed long-lasting relationships with each other. They just did so with people they found, not with people that they were with. Like,
Emma's probably an example of that.
Hold on, is that Earth, Wind, and Sky? Who am I thinking of? Or Fleetwood Mac? If you can't be with the one you love the one you're with.
Sounds about right.
Oh yeah. I don't actually.
Oh, there's a rose in the fisted glove, and the eagle flies with dove. If you can't be with one you love, honey, love the one with. I just don't know who. I'm playing it back in my head, and I forget.
Right.
Steven Stills?
Stills?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, Crosby, Stills, and Nash.
Okay. Oh, that would, yeah.
That sounds like it'd be real. When I think of Crosby, Stills, and Nash nowadays, I think of like Karn number whatever, because I listened to a Hatsune Miku cover of it.
Do you mean like the Silver Golem Karn?
You look. If I just put Karn into my YouTube, does it come up? I think Karn might be named after this Karn, rather. Oh,
I see.
This is important enough that I'm looking it up in my weird music playlist. That's Miku, Court of the Crimson King.
Wait, that's ELP though. Who's ELP?
It's ELP.
Or what is ELP?
Yeah, it's ELNP. What's that stand for?
Is that like a short version of Keenan and Peele? I'm very confused right now. I'm Emerson, Lake, and Palmer. Okay,
Yeah, Emerson,
now
Lake, and
my
Palmer.
brain is officially
Yeah, Emerson,
sleepy.
Lake, and Palmer, not Crosby, Stills, and Nash. Difference, 3 names.
God damn it. Okay.
Oh my god.
And now I want a half iced tea, half lemonade.
Ah.
Although my friends and I used to have this fun game that we would play that was like Name That Jane, and it was constantly like, oh yeah, Jane Austen, that's the gorilla lady, right? And no, that's Jane Goodall. And I thought Jane Goodall was the yeah, and so on.
Go on, yeah.
It'd go for a while.
I'm
Okay.
saving because I've had too many boys on me.
No, it's not your fault, Tactful Ogre.
Hold
You're
on a
fine.
second.
I'm just.
Is Arnold Palmer more known for a lemonade iced tea than for golf?
I really think that's a demographic thing.
Okay.
Like you can ask this question of a cross section of people, and and then split it out by demographics, and then you'll see the age and demographic information. Oh, by the way, I filled out the census.
I should do that.
It's a decade, so there's a census.
Yep.
April Fools.
Yep, that's all.
In our US of A. Time to let the know where you live so that you can be counted for government programs and such. Oh, I also wanted to say, Tactful Ogre, I appreciated your born in a mountain, raised in a cave joke. I think that was good. I didn't want that one I didn't want that to slide by without anybody actually saying anything about it.
That's exactly his kind of joke too.
I just
God damn it! Do you care about?
I love that tutorial. Like, you are about to get stabbed.
you're getting your ass kicked. Would you like to do something about it?
That feels like that one cutaway from like next time on Dragon Ball Z, where it's like they yell at Goku, "Goku, don't let yourself get distracted." He like looks over at them. It's like, I'm not gonna get distracted. And then,
Next
like,
time, Goku gets distracted.
There's a punch like about to collide with his turned face, and it's pretty great.
You can drink potions in the water, but you cannot eat pellets. In the early game, I eat pellets like mad because they fall off in usefulness later, and you're low on potions early game.
I think that's kind of how it went for me.
Oh, okay. Apparently, it was a grapple point I could get to. Weird.
You know, like once you get
Like once you get like 5 potions.
5 potions, and also I think access to rice is also how
he was distracted.
Look, again, I always explain it away this way. Anytime you're doing a ninja game that's like stealth based, the enemies have very poor nutrition and their eyesight isn't good.
Except for the archers.
Well, it's very dark here.
Okay, fine.
Like this is like some day for night here, right? Like.
Yeah, like you're seeing things well because you have the like trained shinobi eyes. They're just some mooks. If you could see their vision, you'd be like, oh my god, how am I ever spotted ever?
Okay, Ninja Boy saw me. I just have to... Where the fuck is the archer? Precisely as planned. Eat it, nerd. So I don't have Makiri counters. I'm going to have to deflect his attacks. Sir?
Or toss him a handful of crackers. Would that work?
That would also work. Sir?
Hello? Are we fighting? Oh, God!
Now he was playing mind games!
Oh my god, yeah, this is just like the empty mind technique here. Incredible.
So in general, using Makiri is just better than deflecting, because they don't get disrupted by just getting their thrust deflected in the way that they get completely owned by using Makiri. Shit. Shit! Shit! Potion!
So validating.
This game's hard.
Especially when you're on hard mode, but...
Yeah, I
Playing with-
guess there's that.
Playing with hard mode on is like playing it for the first time, kind of. Not really.
I mean, it's a difficult game.
Yeah, this game's just hard. It's hard in a way I find really satisfying. I know that a lot of people find this game incredibly frustrating, but in the final boss, which took a long time to beat, there's a phrase where he says, "How my blood boils," and my immediate reaction was, "Yeah!" Because I was feeling the exact same thing. Okay, let's improve our body.
Health.
And I'll try to go get Mr. Raven. It's probably not going to work out, but I'll try.
You can steal it too.
It's hard to.
You can do it.
You can do it. It's just hard. So to get Mr. Raven, you have to go to the 3-story pagoda, which is over here. I'll worry about carp scales later. There's nothing I really need out of carp scales, so I just kind of...
Oh my god, I forgot that consecutive wall jump existed.
Yeah, it's used in like 3 places in the game.
Yep.
And I think it just gives you that tutorial prompt every time. Alright.
So
Yeah, there's one of these
Purple guy.
purple ones here. Not a boss encounter, but like you fought this one as a boss a couple times.
and you fight this guy a lot.
There's the one. I was gonna say, I think there's like 4 different ones in the world.
And this guy is one of the harder ones. Because he's like mid-game difficulty, but you can find him right away. I'm dead. Because he gave me his kick. So I can beat him. But it's gonna be a bit.
Yeah, not having the counter doesn't help. Sure.
I should probably go for damage instead of posture in that circumstance. Because...
Posture wins, though, you know.
Yeah, but my posture isn't sticking. Shit. I thought I was out of range, but I wasn't. I could try to. I think I could maybe get Makiri, but can I? Do I have 2 skill points? I do. I can get Makiri counter, and I should. Oh, I got Unseen Aid.
Ha!
Yeah. So you have like a 30% chance of just not losing your body when you die. And that's how this game handles punishing you for dying. I don't really like it. It feels like something they had to have in the game because they're a Souls game company.
Like they didn't.
I guess I never really asked myself, "Hey, how do I pick up a bloodstain?" That just never entered my brain.
You just have if you have no rot essence, you just have a 30% chance of getting it. I don't think this is a game that needs that mechanic, because in Dark Souls, it did something. I don't have to do that anymore. I can just Makiri you. Shit. There we go.
Nice dodge.
Yeah, I think you have iframes on your dodge, but they're not super great.
I feel like that particular Mikiri counter should do real damage.
Because you're kicking him. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. You're breaking his leg. Like, that's...
Okay.
There you go.
Mikiri kind of helped.
Yeah, and like luckily because this isn't a named enemy, you don't have the 2-pip, which would just make that a hell of a fight early.
Mist Raven Feathers.
Yeah, I just never went this way.
Yep, so Mist Raven Feathers turns into the Mist Raven, which is
one of Jin's go-to tools.
Yeah. It was my like generic tool I used a lot. It has a neat it gives you an ability you just don't have in this game, so we'll see when we actually go make it.
Yeah, here's Owl. I'm clipping my head into his head. Sorry,
this
Owl.
This guy has got to be a boss somehow, right?
Yep. If you
like, I never fought him, but
you correctly predicted.
He looks like a boss.
You correctly predicted that if you betray him, he is the boss there. And if you go with him, then
yeah, that pretty much makes sense.
Yeah.
He's also a very good boss. So here's what stealth looks like.
I love ding 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 ding
Yeah.
ding ding ding.
When that happens a lot when you're playing stealth games quickly, like if you see like a speedrun of like Deus Ex Human Revolution, it's just like running. Okay, do I care to fight the drunkard right now? I don't think I need to, so let's just put my tools on. Go beat. Well, do I want to try to beat Headless? So I can fight bosses with Bell Demon on. We got the axe, we got the flame gun, we got Mist Raven. Yeah. So, got half of the esoteric texts now. I think I'll try to fight Headless. I've only got one confetti, so it's probably not going to work. Which means I want this one. I'll go ahead and give him one of my Akko Sugars, too. Akko Sugars are kind of weak. They give you 12.5% extra damage while they are on, and they last for 30 seconds. If you have the Devotion latent skill, they last for 45 seconds.
Honestly, I don't think that's that bad, considering... Well, okay, against certain enemies, I think that's actually really good.
Mm-hmm.
Like, against the first half of the ape, it would be amazing. You just get you dodge and attack so much. It feels so good.
Yeah, the Ungo Sugar is 30% defense.
Love that ape.
And I don't remember what the Gokon Sugar's percentages are, but it makes your stamina bar go down slower. And then Riku Sugar is 30% extra damage and have your health and posture. Do I have one of those? I will use it if I do.
Oh right, the danger mode sugar.
Yeah, it's one of the more useful ones.
The
Divine Confetti also has a secret ability, 25% extra damage while it's on. It doesn't tell you that, but that's against everything, not just undead.
Yeah. It also works on a lot more enemies than you would expect being undead.
Okay, here's
I
me.
think both any illusionary enemies also take extra damage from it.
Oh, shit. Whenever he does... Okay, whenever he does that attack, it means he's about to do the butt grab.
But yeah, like, I think, the Lady of the Waters takes extra damage from it.
Okay, I got completely smacked.
Ooh.
So we're not getting Bell Demon early today. If you can beat Headless, you can just get to the part of Senpo Temple that has the Bell Demon right away. And I got Rod Essence. Oh no.
I never liked that. It's like, if you die enough, the game becomes more irritating.
It's
they try to guilt trip you.
It's like a narratively driven thing more than a mechanic narrative thing.
I grant you that, but it's I still think a mistake in that regard. It's a narrative mechanism that served to detach me from the story rather than draw me in.
Well, I think the main purpose of it in the narrative is to like make Kuro right. Like Wolf doesn't have any control over whether or not he dies or not when he's fighting things, but the dragon blood power is like bad for humanity. And if you don't like see a way, I think it's a way to make that like something you can see happen rather than just like it would be bad if Owl also was immortal. But I also didn't particularly like the mechanic when I was first playing. I also interpreted it wrong, and because I was playing the game by myself, I didn't have anyone to tell me I was wrong.
I don't think the mechanic is good at serving its narrative purpose at all. I'm with Kaz on this. Like this like it like we talked about it being this like weird oversight that hangs out because this is from a Souls developer, right? Like,
I approve of setting this man on fire, though.
So, fire does two things. Damage over time, and while they're on fire, their posture will not regenerate.
Fire does good.
Yeah, I especially like it against both halves of the ape.
Yeah, it's good against the ape.
Yeah. I had discovered that fire works against furry apes thanks to the Master Swordsman ape. Did you ever fight him?
Yeah. Also, any enemy that's like wearing straw, like cloaks, are easy to set on fire because they're wearing straw.
Oh,
well, those are supposed to be raincoats.
Yeah.
It only makes sense that fire would work well against. Fire works well.
Yeah, like
said.
I mean, as you mentioned with like your experience of fireworks, where it's like, fireworks works on beasts, and then it's like, wait, people are like beasts, and then it's like, oh wait, no, everybody hates fireworks. Just everyone hates this thing.
Come here, you. He's gonna slam now. If you cracker him too much, he'll start to do the spear slam.
Oh,
okay, he's dead.
Yeah, that's it.
I shall kill the man! And then the horse will die from shame. Is it shame or respect that causes the horse to turn to mist?
Hmm.
I would
Was
have
it
to...
even there at all?
Ooh, was it an illusory horse that was manifest purely from his manliness?
Right, like clearly, everyone has their own secret techniques, right? Madame Butterfly.
I have 700. I need 300 more to buy that gold seed.
Everyone has their own secret techniques. So the secret technique of illusory horse is not outside of the world.
I accidentally spoiled it to Jens his first time playing that this was Ishin.
The Tengu.
It's the Tengu. Yeah, he names you, and then
I only beat the game because I was looking around the world for this man.
In Charles's Discord, my display name is Big Sexy Ishin Ashida. Here's a goofy
Wait,
thing.
that guy's just Ishin in a mask?
Yep, he's just Ishin out killing people for fun.
Disguised.
Oh my
god, so I did find him after all. How about that?
Yep, you found him.
Irony of ironies.
You also put your sword away here so you can't hurt him. And I've also tried it before, but if you go to where you can use your sword and try to get... I'll use the monocular to aim.
Are you gonna, like, aim shuriken at him or something?
Oh, yeah, whatever. It just goes through him even if you hit him. You cannot harm Ishin.
Until
it's time to harm Ishin a lot. Oh yeah, you eat a snap seed. That would kill the horse instantly.
Oh, okay. Well, that's our way of proving it, and I think that means it's probably a real horse.
Probably a real horse.
Oh,
I think they handled it that way because they didn't want the alternative of a horse just sort of sitting there being sad for the entire game.
True.
There are horse corpses in other parts of the game.
Yeah, but this is just a sad horse. That's different.
Sad horse, sad horse, sad horse, sad horse. He stays at home because he's sad. He's the sad horse now. Here's the thing I taught myself.
Oh, you can get the rats.
I will need an axe for one of them.
Yeah.
Actually, I'm going to need an axe for both of them.
When you have a moment, you should show off the Mist Raven.
I should. I'll use it right now. Behold!
Oh, you teleport behind them?
Yes.
You get an invulnerable dodge, and you can use it to zip.
Yeah, so you use it and you put out like this like black mist for a while, and if you're hit during it, you take no damage, and then you get a teleport in a direction.
Yep.
Like whatever I think direction you're holding after you get hit. So it gives you a perfect dodge.
Yep.
And like a sidestepping perfect dodge.
And all it costs is spirit emblems.
And so, like, there's certain, like I said, one of my things I did in my playthroughs, I was blocking a lot because I was fluttering the deflect and wasn't, for a long time, was very bad at the deflect. Basically, up until freaking Genichiro taught me how to do the deflect, but, so I would block a lot, and then sometimes there would be things that you can't block, but you can Mist Raven anything. Like, no matter what the hit is that's coming in, you can just zoop, sidestep it. It's sweet.
I would love it if it were like there was a mod or something that would turn that into the Naruto log, where it's just like, but actually that was a log. I am over here.
That would, yes,
like comedy thing.
Yeah, that's
pretty good. It's one of the few things that Naruto has added to literature. And I'm not even sure that they, that's the original source of it or anything, but
right. But no, I get you. If it was like the comedy log with your face on it,
and you just like, if they threw a knife at you, then the knife is sticking out of the log, and
it's
It's good.
But yeah, so that specific item is one I just like a lot. Once you have 16 spirit emblems, you get 8 uses of it in a fight. Because it's 2 spirit emblems a use, so that you have to upgrade your spirit emblems by 1.
So that's another thing that I mean, Bloodborne worked this way also, and I thought it was a mistake there. But I really think that spirit emblems should be just, when you start from a rest, you get your spirit emblems, and that's your ammo count.
Yeah.
And then not have to worry about. Now, I appreciate banana pathing, so I like them for that, but I think you can still do that and not have like the ultimate bank of spirit emblems that you unlock like an endless bank of them at with a cheat code or something like, which I also think would be a way to do it. That would just transform the mechanic into what I'm talking about.
Okay, dog wanted to go outside.
Dog time.
Scrumpy.
Okay. You. Got some rats. Gives you the Ashina text. Almost every Ashina skill is really good. Double Ichimonji is just by a very wide margin the best combat art in the game. Which is a bit sad. I really love Floating Passage, but it's just not as useful as Double Ichimonji. This Ichimonji's got damage, it's got range, you can charge it up, you can cancel the other half of it, it cures
honestly,
posture.
I was gonna say, that's the only thing I cared about Ichimonji is that, again, as I said, I block all the time, so it clears posture damage, and that is perfect.
It lets you shore your defense up while you're on the offense, which
I never really got into using combat arts in a serious fight because my brain was already overloaded with verbs that I couldn't figure out when to fit in an appropriate extra verb.
For a lot of the game, basically up until the point where I finally weaved it in, the combat art was just the button I would hit when I fucked up.
Yeah, it's you hit attack and block at the same time, so now you're doing Ichimonji. That's right. What happened.
All of a sudden I'm and I'm trying to do a move, and all of a sudden the flowing
floating passage. The first
floating passage comes out, and I'm like, fuck, and I die.
Oh my god, getting the history of the log replacement.
Yes.
The 1980s novel The Ninja. How about that?
Ooh,
so I take it back. Naruto didn't add jack shit to literature.
Well, thank you for the update on log replacement.
Well, no, Naruto has added this to the world that I very much appreciate. Naruto named his son Baruto.
Bort.
So, you've got Nart and Bort, and that's worth preserving. Okay, so...
You may be right.
The 1980s novel The Ninja, that... I know, when I think of ninjas in the 80s, I just think of Ninja Headband that says Ninja.
Ninja! I want to get an ultimate ninja power. The golden ninja power. I will reform the ninja empire. I'm going to talk on this Garfield phone.
Two movies connected by phone conversations on a Garfield phone.
Oh, it's kind of incredible. A Garfield phone.
So she wants us to collect blood, and being me, I will do so. We want Stairway, I think, is the best one. It's crazy to me that one of the reasons the West likes ninjas at all is because of a James Bond movie. A James Bond movie had ninjas in it, and then shortly after, everything had fucking ninjas in it. For a good 20 years. I don't even remember the name of the movie. It was one of the... What's his name ones? Shit, that doesn't help at all.
And it had to be like late 70s, right?
It was like 68.
Oh, that early. Okay.
Yeah. It was post Connery, so it was. What's his name?
Roger Moore?
Roger Moore. It was one of the Moore. It was like a early Roger Moore movie.
Huh.
It's got that. It's got the heavyset sheriff guy that was in several of those movies. I don't actually like it as a James Bond movie that much. But there's so many. How can you even keep track?
I'm thinking Octopussy, frankly.
It's around that era.
Because I think there was. I think he dressed up as a ninja in that one.
Hmm.
It was Only Live Twice and Connery? Man, I'm just so wrong.
Oh, wow.
I'd believe that, though.
I was not getting there. Although, hey, you only live twice? Huh?
Ah, yes!
Circling back.
Countering enemy projectiles. Yep, you can do that.
Oh my god. This game has archers and cannoneers and, like, people with firearms who are the best marksmen in the universe.
I'd say they got that job for a reason.
Like, oh my goodness.
Yeah, not only are they perfect marksmen, they can also reload in 0 time.
And they can see you from a mile away. Everyone else,
Right.
no peripheral vision. The guys who ate too many carrots, those guys became marksmen. So this is the first boss in the game that gives people a lot of trouble. It's the bull.
I was gonna say that. I guess like our buddy on the horse isn't too bad.
Yeah, Gyobu.
Gyobu's the first one I remember. I guess maybe more the thing because
Womp.
everybody before Gyobu is just nameless chump. Not chump sometimes. Sometimes it's nameless dude with spear who kicks her ass. Those are two distinct things.
So there's a lot of things that combine together to make the bull like annoying and hard. It's a 1-pip boss, so you can only die once. He also doesn't function like a lot of the bosses. There's mainly 2 kinds of bosses in the game: HP bosses and posture. That hit me. There's HP bosses.
What I was gonna. Yeah, I think we were talking about the same thing, but I think of them as dodge bosses and block bosses.
Okay, yeah, like ones where you're like if you're trying to deplete them, there's no point in doing posture damage. You're just going for hits. You know.
Of course, when you're playing with more additional hardships, then everything's a deflect boss because blocking really sucks.
Well, yeah, I mean by block I mean deflect and do what you called the tango.
Ah.
This is clearly not. But you know, when I was thinking back over like why do I like the ape fight so much, the reason is that the first half is basically a dodge fight. You could just do the Bloodborne thing a lot, and that's something that I've done a lot of, so it just sort of squared with what I understood, and I did pretty well. And then the second half, that don't work no more, and it's time to deflect a lot.
So I'm actually...
So you get both kinds of fight in one, and that's why I like it so much.
I'm actually pretty close to killing him, and that's why I died. If you get him to about half health, he'll start to run around and try to squish you. But if he runs into a wall while he's charging, it will instantly fill his posture meter. Because he runs headfirst into a wall.
Oh, that's kind of cute. You know, that might have happened in my fight with Blazing Bull, and I just didn't notice because there's so much like fire and chaos.
That is it. I believe that is what happened. This fight also takes on another note in harder modes because the guys just don't die right away.
Oh, jeez.
Like, oh, this guy's a clown. Like, they'll instantly notice you.
The tap on the shoulder thing.
Like, see, they didn't die from that, so I have to kill them.
Oh, wow.
Okay, he died. The fight gets easier when he knocks over the towers, because it gives you more room to maneuver. The charge attack is your friend in this fight.
There's also the fight that can happen where you just get...
Man, jeez. Any dowsing powder? Now's not the time to use it. Now is. Okay.
So you drink it to keep from being on fire.
Yeah,
I got it.
You eat it somehow. It's like a powder you eat, and it turns your fire off. It's like you take some like some Tums or something. It's a one spicy bowl.
It's not being on fire. That's a it's a metaphorical representation for heartburn.
Speaking of being on fire, I don't have the flame barrel equipped. He's doing moves I don't see a lot.
You know, for some reason, I did not think that would work.
He's on fire, so how could he be set on fire?
Yeah, right?
Man, I've never seen that butt attack before. He keeps doing it. Yep, see, his firecracker timer wasn't up yet, so he didn't get affected by that. That's why firecrackers are merely good and not completely busted.
Yeah. Being able to, like, stunlock every boss with them would kind of be a thing. Even if you could only do it, like, 16 times or whatever.
There is a boss you basically can, but it's not a surefire tactic. God damn it.
That sort of became my tactic against the corrupted monk.
That is
especially
the boss
after we discovered that fistfuls of ash would do the same thing.
That is what the speedrun does.
Excellent.
Come on, Blazing Bull, do your thing.
Glad that
Okay, here it
pocket
goes.
sand.
Yep, he headbutted the wall. Now he's sleepy. Don't really like this fight that much. You get another rank of Shinobi medicine for doing it, though.
I think I could take or leave it. I kind of like that there is such a thing in the game.
What are you guys doing? Don't throw rocks at me. Oh.
Common experience. That was my experience with Dark Souls 2. Like, never was I more terrified than right after having defeated a boss, because all of my resources were depleted, and there were enemies waiting, like, right outside the stage to come get me immediately, and I'm like, oh, I gotta go.
So after I rest at this bonfire, that door will shut forever, and you'll never be able to get from Ashina Castle from Gyopu's Arena again. You have to teleport after I do this.
Huh. I guess I never noticed that.
See, and they shut the door.
Yeah, I guess I tell, like, the bar right there. Don't lie to me.
What mischievous person did this?
It's tightly. So here's a
sealed by the power of the Great Lord.
Here's a hint that hardly ever is useful. There are Taro troop. There are adult babies who wear armor that doesn't fit well, but you can peel their armor off by using a spear.
Oh yeah, the scorpion thing that I never used.
Which we're about to get. Yes, this guy has the key. adult babies. Let's run past one. Just to unlock the abandoned dungeon. That's fine. I basically knew that was going to happen. Hello, adult baby. How did that work?
What in the hell is happening?
I don't know what happened.
What in the hell are you doing?
Whatever it was cool.
I ninja flipped 5 times.
I was jumping off the bell, I think. Alright.
Okay, back to tutorial zone.
We gotta go fight the Pots and Pants Man, as I used to call him. Here he is. And we'll get the Shinobi Spear. The Spear and the Axe are of the Shinobi tool type where you're just supposed to attack with them. So they're not really that useful, I don't think. They can do some pretty good damage if you use them. But they each have some very niche uses. The Spear is mostly worth getting just for the Headless Ape fight. Weirdly enough. So we're gonna go.
Oh my god, you're getting the tutorial messages.
Yep.
Because you didn't come here, oh my god.
Oh, come on. That guy saw me. I have to run all the way back so he'll stop seeing me. Okay. That guy is my goal.
Yeah, I remember pulling some hijinks with this dude. I was variably convinced that like it was just impossible to sneak up on him, or that you had to like run up into the roof and then.
He's one of my favorite fights in the game. Oh, right bumper, attack.
Okay, we'll do that.
This guy is really fun to fight. Wow. Spop. My Kiri counter didn't work. That's fine. So he dodged the right, that attack will always miss. This guy is also an important tool because he is a reminder that even though a lot of Wolf's attacks look... Oh, man. Even though a lot of Wolf's attacks look slow, they're actually faster than most enemies' attacks. Like, you can interrupt with your sword many, many, many enemies, including a lot of bosses. Or most bosses, really.
Yeah, I guess I'm used to... I've done too much of the fights of, like, bosses where that's not the case.
Like, this looks slow. But, Genichiro, Ishin, this guy, you can all interrupt them with your sword move.
Oh my god, this is almost related, so I'm still going to talk about it.
Yeah.
I was watching, Emily, PA. She was doing Eden Savage runs of, like, the Final Fantasy 14. Of the, like, Eden bosses, and on the last one, there was a stunnable enemy. In, like, the highest level, like, just, like, this one thing that's stunnable out of, like, every enemy boss encounter that's existed in FF14 for the last 6 years.
Yeah, so, the Dragoons and, like, other melee DPS out there who have never kicked anything in their life suddenly, like, wait, I can do that?
Yeah. So...
I do not miss Dragoon at all. First time I played, I played as Pugilist and really liked it, and then thought, hey, I'll try Dragoon, just to try something else. And then that was 50 levels of being bored. But I'm about halfway through Shadowbringers with Red Mage.
Excellent.
You know, I hate Red Mage in most games that they're in, mostly because I've gotten sick of them from FF5. Man, this guy is...
Okay.
This guy's
your
bringing it to
number.
me. Not this time.
But yeah, I was reminded of that just by how this enemy is, like, one of the best ways of beating this enemy is to continuously attack them, because a lot of their moves, like, have a stun, like they get stun locked out of.
Yeah.
Not all of them, but, like, everything that, like, I think all of their, like, critical moves you can stun them out of.
Yeah, you can either hit them with, like, a power attack or something.
Yeah.
I'll kill him soon. I'll do it. I'm brave and smart and cool. And I want to fight him. What I should be doing is just getting into Ashina Castle so I can get a few more Divine Confetti. And if I can do that, I can fight Headless and win. Then I can get Bell Demon, and then we can fight Genichiro with hard modes on, which is really fun.
Ooh, yeah.
Come on. Yeah. Yep, off I go.
Into the pit with you. Now
Smart.
that is one thing about this game that I like a lot.
Pits are not death. Most of the time.
Yeah, there may be a lot of pits, which I'm not happy about, but considering the like high flying nature of things, I can kind of be like, okay, well, sure. But they put you back up and say, okay, try again.
Yep.
I think the rule is if you get knocked into a pit by an attack, then that will kill you. It doesn't come up a lot. Have I beaten the game before? Many times.
I've beaten it once, I guess, since I'm also here, I get to say. But he's the one playing, so.
Yeah. I still have one ending left I haven't done.
Confusing shinobi dance.
Yeah.
The Shadow Warrior technique. We just wiggle up.
Up in the corner.
I couldn't.
The game I have been playing recently has been just Doom, the 2016 release. And that game has a lot of pits, and they're all instant death.
That's kind of weird.
And it sucks.
For a first-person game.
Because I know that the sequel to it has a lot of pits, and they do nothing. They just put you back on where you fell on the floor, fell off. You know, so it's like, you know, there's just all these pits, and it's like, stop it. Why is this instant death?
Can Makiri counter me? Nope. Shit. Yeah.
Freaking Makiri counter. I should stream some of that. That'd be fun.
Doom?
Yeah. It's something I can do tomorrow. There's no vintage cube anymore, so like.
What if we fought in the most dangerous place imaginable?
Has to benefit one of us. I can't say it's not me.
I want the Makiri counter to fail because you're trying to, like, dig his spear into ground that isn't there.
Ah, damn it.
Ooh.
That felt close.
Like, you Makiri counter and the spear just does a full, like, flip and just hits you on the noggin.
Oh yeah, like he brings the haft forward and bashes you in the head with it as it's getting driven into the ground.
Mm-hmm.
I could go fight someone easier. How many beads am I at?
Do you just need the bead?
I'm doing it for fun. So I could probably be... Okay, if I beat him and the guy in the well, I'll get a hard upgrade. So I have a reason to fight this man.
Okay, that's a question. What's the deal with the guy who's, like, listening at the hole where you start the game if you come back there?
He has two quests associated with him. One is He is a large man who can lead to the abandoned dungeon. You took Kotaro
okay,
there.
yeah. For the guy who's asking for a tough guy.
Yeah.
Mm.
Gotcha.
He asks either for a Taro troop or for a samurai, and Kotaro is a Taro troop, and then Jinzemon, the well guy, is a samurai. The other one is, if you keep following him, you'll eventually find the Samushin player.
The Overrun of the Water.
Yep, it's her.
So yeah, what happened with me is I talked to him and he's like, "Listen to that melody, isn't it great?" And I'm like, "You're weird." And he's like, "Okay, I'm gonna listen here." And I'm like, "Okay, dude." And then later, I killed Orin of the Water, and I was coming back through here because I remembered, hey, water is here. Maybe I should try swimming.
Oh God.
Uh-oh.
Okay, it's fine.
And he immediately attacked me.
It's because you had killed Orin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. Like, someone told me that, and I'm like, well, what the heck? He didn't tell me not to. Also, she totally attacked me, so what the hell?
Yeah, so the, I think, basically that NPC is, in a game without many of them, that's a Dark Souls NPC.
Man,
Like, they have a Dark Souls side quest that breaks on a dime.
Yeah, and the reward sucks, so it doesn't matter. Like, you just get a...
So it's a Dark Souls side quest.
The preeminent Dark Souls guy is fucking Siegmeyer, who gives it a slab.
A slab.
If you do his thing all the way.
Right, but the second one is Solaire.
Yeah, Solaire also uses a break. But, yeah, the reward for doing Jinzeimon's entire thing is a Jesus statue. That's it. It's a special one with flavor text, but it's just functionally a statue. What if I ignore...
Well, I felt pretty bad about the whole thing when he attacked me and then I attacked him.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah, now you're doing the run-up to this guy that I did, which is run right past everyone and then run to the attic and hope that they forget about you.
This is a good spot to be forgotten about as well. Yep.
Yeah, I've done this before. Down here works too.
I'm hiding. But yeah, I don't think there's that many other.
We're on a
Pathetic.
data loading screen.
I'm blurry.
Okay, an out of focus David Cage loading screen.
If I come over here, he'll lose track.
There's not many other Dark Souls NPCs.
One of the
that
Indians feels like one. Damn.
Okay.
He's just
wow, they want you. Okay, you might want to. Maybe you do want to try the attic. I mean, that's. Yeah, I'm gonna do that tomorrow. I'm gonna just stream Doom for like a while. That'll be fun.
There's a way to get up on top of the roof, but I forget how it is. There's a grapple point over here. Yeah. There is a technique I can employ, but it's annoying to employ. If you do this, it's going to put me where I was before I aggroed an enemy.
Buddy, what is it? You already have food, buddy. You're just not eating it because you're being picky. Don't be picky.
Which was back here, apparently. This is not the ideal bonfire to do this from, either. What if I go to the right bonfire?
Well, here's another thing about this video game. Why does everyone hate you so bad?
I believe everyone here in Ashina is under orders from Genichiro.
I was just gonna say, you've been in a well for 3 years. You're smelly.
You have been smelly for a
Oh.
while, too. The game doesn't completely explain what you were doing in between the Harada estate and now. Like, when did Wolf give up and live in the well, and how long has Genichiro had Kuro locked up in that tower? I'll even kill this guy. Okay, this time will be different. I will annihilate the spearman.
Oh man, I really wish there was no item vacuum.
Yeah, it's probably something that should have just been automatic. I like making the wind come out. That's a shinobi technique. I don't like that you have to do it, though. It does have a functionality. If you pop a Mibu Balloon of Wealth, after you've killed a bunch of people, you can vacuum up the money and get more money. Does not work for items, though.
Oh, wait, you can do all the murders, then pop the balloon?
Yeah. That's the moment when the money happens, and that's when it applies a multiplier. But getting items to drop happens when they die. So it's all about, like, when the numbers change.
So I just died to Chip there.
Chip's challenge.
Okay, speaking of Chip's challenge, my challenge is to not die. How'd that hit me? I was orthogonal to that attack. I disagree.
I call shenanigans.
You got hit by the back of the spear.
With a lot of hits.
The hitboxes
and that's one of them.
The back of the spear just got you.
The hitboxes in this game are by and large good, but not in that series.
Well,
I'm willing to call them like 95% perfect.
Like they have a lot of like. Okay, hitboxes have improved a lot since Dark Souls 2, is basically what I'm going to start with, where you have, like, a Mimic who has a full screen grab, you know, whereas, like, you know, in this game, for the most part, and like, same with, like, Bloodborne and 3, like, attacks hit, like, where they're at, so, like, you can watch a Dark Souls 3 speedrun, and one of the techniques they use against Pontiff is lie down.
Yep. You can lie down again. You can do that against one of the Chalice dungeon bosses in Bloodborne too.
Yeah,
there's lots of pose dodges in Bloodborne if you go looking for them.
Yeah, and those are what I think of when I think of like good hitboxes, where it's like, yeah. But then getting hit by that spear, that's what we call dumb hitboxes.
In this game, it's mostly grab attacks that have the bad hitboxes, where they're just like huge planes of touch this and die. Especially because also the giant and Emma, her grab attack is fucking a giant tube. I got spotted by that spear guy down there. So I'm going to do this. And then kill you. I will not afraid.
Goodness.
Oh, dang.
That was a lot of damage through that.
That's what chip damage.
Another thing kind of that I was actively fighting against for the entire game, and I wish it worked differently. When you get like knocked down, you have to press a button to get up.
Yeah,
there was lots of times in the game where I didn't notice what happened. I was actually in a stagger animation and didn't realize it, and then it was already too late to hit the button to get up, and I'm like, Wolf, no, why are you're so lazy?
Yeah, the safety roll.
Once you fall down, Wolf's just like, I'm done.
I'll get the timing for that eventually.
Sleep time.
There's one lesson in this game that I'm pretty stubborn about. there's an old skill or an old technique. If you can't figure out how to dodge or how to block a technique or counter a technique, just figure out how to avoid it. So his attack I'm trying to Makiri, I should try to avoid instead.
That's what I eventually did with this guy, I think. There are so many times I got sick of the Makiri counter. I'm like, I don't even want to do this anymore. Let's just... Can we hit him instead, please?
I think the reason that attack is so dangerous is because it's a delayed attack. Which means you're trying to deflect it or Makiri it before it happens. It's the thing that makes, like, parrying really big, heavy attacks in Souls games is scary. Because you have to...
it's like, oh, how much windup is that?
Like, usually, you want to do it later than you think you would most of the time.
Yeah, but then they, like, you know, you get nervous and then do it early, and then you get hit anyway.
And then you get crushed.
Like, psyching you out moment.
The one that always comes to mind is the infested barbarians that drop the large club. You basically want to hit the parry button while their club is inside your body. Okay. This is the last time I'll fight him, and then I'll go do something else for a while.
Well, I won't hold you to that. It's a fun enough fight.
I mostly don't want to get burned out on it. Do the same thing for a while, you'll start...
Oh, that time he got 3 perilous attacks. What are the rules?
That's one combo he has, and each one of them is a thrust. I always end up fighting this guy by the cliff, even though it's unideal. Wow, I thought I was out of range of that, but I was not.
Well, you didn't get shoveled off the edge, so that's lucky.
Come over here, away from the cliff. That's a... Oh, I'm out of spirit emblems.
Out of spirit, yeah. I think while you were away for a sec, Jens and I talked about ammo in this game, and how basically I would want this system, but with an infinite bank.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it.
That's basically fine. I don't hate that there's ammo, but I don't like it either. Does mean I will be without... I'm also low on spirit emblems because I'm just kind of running.
Yeah, yeah.
If I was killing more enemies and just exploring more, I would get more.
Alright, well, good fights. Good fights. He's tough.
Talk to Jinzaemon later.
Jonesin for a Jonesaimon.
This one's a weird free hit to get. You can get it. You can talk to him the first time. I like that. I like the spear guy fight a lot. It's just hard.
Alright, now we're on the assassin.
Yeah, bastard. I lost, but I'm doing something else so I don't get exhausted.
The, I thought it was really neat that you could walk into this arena really slowly and get some dialogue.
He said there was a shinobi here.
Yeah.
Instead, I fell on him from the ceiling and stabbed him in the back.
Yeah, instead you take your free kill because, like, it's well worth it against this foe.
Now, fighting these guys gets to be semi-automatic.
Oh, he heard you and gave you the prayer bead. I'm sorry, the spirit emblem.
Yep, he gave me some. Okay. Yeah, reset, no halberd.
Well,
I think I can buy a prayer bead in the abandoned dungeon. I'll try this guy again. much money do I have? Probably not a lot because I've been dying.
You have like you have a bunch tied up in items now.
Do I? I have 1,000.
Oh, you also have like you still have $200 after a ton of deaths. That's
It's 'cause I just got a lot from killing the ninja, and these guys drop 40. You get a lot of money in additional hardships.
In this mode, yeah.
Because
Wasn't even thinking about that.
Guys who drop like 17 drop 39. Yeah, no idea why the ninjas tuck one of their arms in. There's a motif in this game of things and people who either don't use or don't have a left arm.
Right bumper attack.
Right bumper attack. But this time will be different.
Right, you know how to attack now.
Oh, that's kind of like Viking from Guilty Gear, right?
Yep.
He has a bunch of tools crammed away instead of an arm.
Tatami mat! She heals that a lot. What she does in Zerd. She used it back in the day, too.
Yeah, and in, what was it? Carrot Core and the one before Carrot Core that I played the most of. Can't remember what it was, but it was on the PS2. Just sort of played it a bunch. And then there was Isuka, which no one ever played, but it had like a two versus 2 beat 'em up mode, and there was a button to turn around. And there was a PS2 controller extension port that I got so that we could play it with 4 people.
Yeah, the multi-plug.
Yeah.
I had one of those for SNES. Shit. God damn it. I got my posture broken, it killed me. Let's go buy the spirit, the emblem for the thing from somebody else. Actually, no, I have to...
Okay. Power of money.
I have to go be Jinsei-ma, or the drunkard Harada.
Drunkard, yeah, you can fight the drunkard and that'll give you your 4th.
That'll give me a 4th one. And then I can beat Lady Butterfly.
God. If you want a video to make clear just how difficult this game can be, I spent what 2-3 hours on Madame Butterfly.
It was I think it was hour 45-ish, but it was split up into 2 chunks. Because you spent a good hour and a half on it, and then went off to do other stuff.
Like, oh, also we got our buddy here.
We do. He'll be helping us after I kill everyone. The Torchman.
Yes, the ancient enemy of stealth games. 2 guys who are looking in opposite directions.
Unbeatable.
So this is going to be very funny looking if this works out right. Probably don't even need the axe. But we're going to be doing some clowning to kill these guys the way I want to. Dang it. I want you.
Oh yeah, get rid of that. Oh.
I got smacked last second. Okay, now that I've killed those 2 guys, I will run away. Ah, damn it.
Damn it.
The guy got too close to my ally. That'll be fine. That just means I just cancel my plan and do this semi-intentionally. The guy is supposed to give you breathing room so you can kill these guys. But if you want him to live, you basically need to
clear out
first.
Dude's pretty strong. Like, he's still standing right now. He's just getting the beat down from like 12 dudes.
He's about to die.
Yeah, he's dead.
And
Cleared out most?
Yep, I still want to run away though. Because my main objective is to get the free hit on Juzo.
Yeah.
And to do that, I will run away over here. hide behind the stairs. Lady Butterfly is one of like my favorite bosses in the game.
Those two people with torches missed you.
I think.
God damn it!
I think that's the same for me. I like that fight a lot. It was the first fight in the game that I genuinely enjoyed, and immediately after completing it, I'm like, "Wow, that was real good." I'm happy about that. And after completing the game, it still is. It's up there. I like Madame Butterfly. I like Headless Ape, and I like Yishin.
Game's got strong bosses. That's
There are bosses in this game I do not like.
Well, I mean, in the sense that, like, if I'm looking at like favorite bosses on a list, like
this
at
game
the
has
top,
this game might have multiple on the list, like all-time video game bosses.
I feel like the ape is a defining boss for this game, just for how different it plays versus, you know.
Yeah, it's the most. I think it's the most infamous boss in the game.
I kind of love it that, like, yet again, Kaz loves this infamous boss.
No, it's infamous, but I also really like it. It was. Okay,
oh my god, I that ape was just such a.
Fight me.
Okay.
That's their most, like the guys in Bloodborne with the torches. That's their most dangerous attack. Is they wave their torch at you.
Well, even in Dark Souls 1.
Yeah.
What was the most dangerous thing Undead with Torch could do?
Just wave his torch.
Yeah, run and wave the torch at you.
It's like there were guys in Bloodborne that had big scary axe, little torch. The dangerous attack is away, away.
Yeah, oh, it was the worst because they would also like backpedal while they did it. Because you're incentivized to be very aggressive in that game. They're the worst.
Yeah.
You all not wanted here.
This town's finished.
This town's finished.
This town's finished. Yeah, speaking of aggression in here, one of the upgrades I find the most useful in this game is the one that kind of makes you start playing a little bit of Bloodborne, where you get like a small recovery on a kill.
Yeah, the stamina recovery on Deathblow and the health recovery on Deathblow really helped this game out. Turn around. Every time I try, it's a little bit harder. Come on. I hate fighting the Axemen. Yes, turn. No. Yes. Fine, I'll fight you.
Oh my god.
Somebody else saw me too.
Yeah, that was...
So the way you beat the Axemen...
Oh no.
Bring a friend.
Look at his wiggle his head at me.
He does have quite a bit of head wobble.
I'll get my pip back after I stab this guy in the butt.
But yeah, I thought you were just gonna say the way to beat axe guy is to bring a sword, because that's.
Yeah, that's true, but.
Just, but I guess when axe guy brings a sword guy, that's when you start having some problems.
So once again, this is my preferred technique for beating these guys. Because it's 100% safe and it always works. Whereas if you deflect and you mess up once, they'll chop down your entire health bar.
Yeah, I mean, his sword is big enough to cut your entire body off, so...
They're also very predictable. He's got a lot of wind-up. The wind-up makes his moves hard to deflect, but easy to avoid. I get greedy and go for the first hit a lot. Come on, buddy. Do an attack I can punish. And he's
Ooh,
almost
a
dead.
grab attack also.
Yep.
Nice flip.
He's got to do the backflip. You can actually control how you flip when you, like, you can go back or forward when you backflip off of them. Get some booze.
All right, and that's your. Oh, and then you win this fight, and you get another pip anyway.
Yep, because zoop.
So there's a couple places where there's like a hidden ninja wall.
Yep, behind a scroll. This is one of two. The other one is in Ashina Castle.
Never found this one.
I think I used channel points to tell you about the other one.
I found this one only because you said you'll never find the secret here.
Yeah, I said, you want to know a secret you'll never figure out without help? You're like, sure. They put an item here to, like, draw you towards it, but there's no way you're finding that.
Yeah, like, why would you put your back to every wall? Like,
Right.
at least the, you know, the one that's next to, Boy Boss, in the second half of the game, like, it has the outline of a human.
Yeah.
It's like, oh.
Well, there's
the shortcut.
There's some you're supposed to know are there, and then there's two hidden ones that are like bombable walls in Metroid. You're like, you either know or you don't.
We put one bombable wall in the entire game and gave you bombs that do nothing else.
No.
I think I've killed this guy.
This dude.
That guy is there to refill your spirit meter. Okay, I'll use these snap seeds. So, how many divine?
I imagine you would want loaded shuriken. I would want loaded shuriken, but it's up to you.
I have 2 of those, and I'm about to upgrade my body, and I'm about to... Can I buy pacifying powder from this guy? I want to beat the bosses with hard mode on, so I want to beat this headless. It's either that or I have to beat Genichiro without it.
Oh, I understand what you're saying. We don't want to fight that boss because you want to go and unlock more difficulty before fighting the boss.
Yes.
You can just go. You can just buy the heavy coin purses if you want to just save that money.
I'll spend 100 golds to make sure I don't lose that. There's some pacifying agent in here, like right here, somewhere.
I mean, yes, it is possible to run by the headless, but we're going to be able to...
It's not actually possible to run past that headless. You can't grapple out until you kill him, I'm like 90% sure.
Oh, no kidding.
You can give it a shot, just see, but yeah.
But I got some pacifying agent that'll make it easier on its own. And I beat Gyobu, so I've already cheated a little bit. I will not have defeated every boss with both hard modes on. My purity is ruined. The sanctity of my stream is destroyed.
That's what did it. This right here. This destroyed the sanctity.
Gyobu. Forever a check mark on my success.
Asterisk.
Asterisks. I've done it before, but the way I did it before is I just backed up my save and killed and fought headless with the one divine confetti you start the game with until I beat him. And then, like, if I lost, I reloaded. I backed up my save.
Nah, that's...
Okay, this time I won't try fighting him, so I'm not going to win, but I'm going to try to get past him. I'm pretty sure you just can't grapple up while he's in there. I think there's a fog wall, actually. Don't know how I avoided that. Yeah, see, there would be a way to get up here. but I'll be shooting his beams at me.
Oh, you just can't grapple.
Tasty beams.
Oh,
well, that's the way back.
that's the way in. That's the way in.
That's
right.
the way in.
Yeah.
So you can run
Shit.
away. So
Okay.
I'll unlock this to begin with, just because it's.
Heck.
Oh, that's good stuff.
That's pretty good. The grapple point was slightly farther away than. I have 6 skill points, and I've only bought a Makiri counter. I should have. Now, I do not mind fighting for science, so it was good to reaffirm that. Look at my skill points now that I have 3 skill books, and by that I mean buy the good carp skills. I guess I have Ichimonji. Should I save up for Suppress Presence? Isn't as good, and I think these are these are Emma's medicine, which I don't actually care about. Like the Emma medicine skills actually aren't very good until you have all of them. Like these two on their own don't do a whole lot. So which one of these do I want? I'll just save. Yes, combat arts. Yes, Ichimonji. Do I have? Right, I didn't get the blood.
Yeah, it you know, it initializes to carp.
Carp.
Combat ARP.
Ah, yes.
Combat ARP. Beating the game without any arts whatsoever made me realize that the ascending and descending carp stuff in the Ashina skill tree actually extremely good. They do way more than you think they would by what they describe.
What do they say they do?
Increase and decrease posture damage you do and take against enemies with swords.
Well, now.
So I want you. I have 2 confetti. That's enough to kill him. 2 is. So long as I don't completely goober it. I'm going to be back up on the cliff now. I tried to take a shortcut, and it wasted me some time. Whoa, that was weird.
Yep.
I got flipped around, I'm pretty sure.
That happens to me a lot in this game in close quarters. There's that time I got stuck under like a roof eave, and the game went completely nuts.
Gotta fight me. And you can't get the easy hit on any headless.
So what you're showing me is why I was never able to deal damage to headless.
Yep.
They're effectively immune unless you have this sword up.
It's also being really hard.
I hate fighting these. They have like 6 different ways of killing you because your movement is.
I'm like,
Yeah.
Oh, he's got my butt!
I'm not going to do it.
He's got my butt!
Oh,
Yep.
pulled your soul out through your butt.
Yep, piece of Kappa. And he puts it in his butt afterwards.
Ah, he got your anal gold.
Yep, he got
Well,
my...
That's the soul.
I'm just going to go on now. I want another... I'm just going to fight Lead Butterfly. I don't mind having a hard enemy that is a super bonus that they drop super treasure too, is the thing. So it's like, do you want to fight the hard monster for that petrifies you or not? Plus, they're headless
I
monsters.
never want to. And then there's like a point where you go in a lake.
The funny thing is the ones in the water are actually easier. You don't have to use confetti, and once you figure out how to fight them, they're super easy. But you have to get to that point. Yes, I will try Shuriken against this lady. But I'm mostly just going to beat the crap out of her.
I really enjoyed learning like how to make phase 2 happen the way you want it to.
Man, haha.
Item punish.
Wham. And look at her posture.
Yep.
That's how Grandma roll. Like, I got off my rhythm and now I'm getting smashed. I should be using Shuriken whenever she jumps, but I forgot.
Yeah, I was about to mention that, you know, my own successful version of this fight. I would like hit, side dodge into attack out of dodge, and then she would jump, and then I would shuriken her, and that just sort of worked.
Yeah. I got off my rhythm and it spanked me. My superpower is a weakness, which is that I can get very good at fighting these monsters just with my sword. But because my brain knows that, it demands that all I do is use my sword or deflect. I do not need tools. I do not need techniques. So it's like having potions and not using them, that kind of thing. Which is why I didn't get one of the endings. Because I refused to use my potions.
Oh, I guess that's the reason, and I'm the one who was just like, oh, it's a fight, use my rice.
Yep. Shuriken killed me there.
Oh, the double death.
I just took it.
So when you say use your rice, what is that?
There's a healing item you get from the Divine Child of the Waters.
The person who gives you the Mortal Blade gives you rice.
You talk to her again, she'll give you rice. And it's just like a super healing item.
Oh.
It's like a pellet in the sense that it's healing over time, but it lasts for like 30 goddamn seconds and through death.
And pellets slash you to death too, but it also heals
yeah,
enough
but pellets
to like...
last for 5 seconds, so you don't notice that.
Yep. Rice also heals enough to like heal like twice your health bar over.
Yeah.
So it's really overpowered.
Yeah, it basically, and you can only hold one. You only get one of it from the lady, unless something happens and you get two. But like, it's just a like panic mode healing item that makes you very, very stouty, because you heal the full and you have regen on for 15 seconds. So. And the item is replenishable. You can always have one rice. Like, and that's what made it the thing. Is like, you know, and it's like if if you're afraid of it not being replenishable and don't use it, kind of like a
elixir.
You know, like a divine. What are those items you don't use in a Dark Souls?
Yeah,
Divine Blessing.
Yeah, nobody ever uses a Divine Blessing because, you know, but. It's like having one of those, but you can just always go back and get another. So it's your last potion, you know.
You want to know the funny part of Divine Blessing? It's actually bug. You'll die if you use it.
Drink this and die.
No one can prove me wrong. No one's ever used one of those.
No one's ever.
In Dark Souls, I used to see people who would hack themselves 99 to use in PvP.
Oh!
So I've seen that before, actually.
Ooh.
If they were hackers, I wouldn't be able to tell.
Right. So yeah, the interrupt here is super important because the first attack she'll do is the soul summon, but the interrupt makes that not true, and then you can just keep the pressure on like a normal fight.
Weird. I lived somehow.
Oh, good work. Oh.
Yeah, so the soul summon is
Whap. Defeated with a bean. Had the wrong tool out.
still effective.
It almost got me killed, but I was just within the range.
Yeah, that could have been bad. You're right.
Eat 2 pellets. Now I'm out of healing.
Man, this is making me want to go play the game again. I love this fight.
Mm-hmm.
She just got so many tricks. I love it. Feels like she's never out of tricks.
Shit, I'm dead.
Yeah, there's always something else.
I'm gonna stop trying to use Shuriken because I just want to use my muscle memory.
Bonk.
My muscle memory also got me killed, so I just have to perfect it now, which means I can't get hit by. Okay.
Yeah.
Mada. I had my choice of fighting her or Genichiro, and I chose her for some reason, even though she's harder.
Well, you already beat Genichiro in the first fight of the damn game.
Yeah, I did. Great Grandma.
And, like, I think the only thing that's different is that in the Prelude fight, I don't know if he uses his bow. I've never given him the space for it, so...
He did against when I did it, but he did it in a way I had never seen before, where he had followed up his floating passage by giving me a shot.
Huh.
The game still has surprises. This is the Tango I want, and if she just does this a lot, she will die very quickly. Or if she does that. Pillar fight. That's actually bad for me because her posture will start recovering very quickly.
Now this is the fight right here. That's where you get the big damages.
Because I dropped a deflect. Okay.
It's fine. You get a good moment to heal here. Wiggle, wiggle.
You're fine. Man, I attacked and it kept me from jumping. This fight's actually really rough with chip damage, because she has so many fucking missiles.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Broke lock somehow.
I really hate when that happens. Really in any fight.
Yeah.
It seemed to happen in the Emma fight, of all things, quite a bit. She would she does this one thing where she lunges forward and then she would just get out of my lock and I'm like, oh, Cool, I guess.
Yeah, anytime an enemy just like leaves your lock on, it just like feels so bad.
Yeah, the thrust attack that can get through enemies who block a lot. It's pretty useful. I wonder if I could upgrade my... Actually, hold on a second. Am I a dum-dum? Am I a super dum-dum? I'm a super dum-dum! I have 5 prayer beads in my inventory. I was just about to think, where could I get 3 prayer beads? I know where I can get one of them, and then like get another one. So if I get one more prayer bead, I can get a. And I was like, wait a second.
10 prayer beads, man.
I've beaten this fight with both hard modes and no prayer beads, so surely I should be able to beat it with more than that.
I can't believe I'm doing this, but I have a suggestion to make.
Ooh, what is your suggestion?
Yeah!
When she first does the backflip to jump up on her strings,
I should
use
be throwing...
shuriken there.
Yeah, I probably should.
Because she can't block while she's in the like landing on my strings animation, and it lets you keep up pressure in a way that feels like you're never even dropping your pressure.
I should do that.
It's tough because you know it requires figuring out when she's going to jump on strings, which sucks, but I think it'll work. I think that's what I did. I can't remember. Or maybe she'll just never do it.
I think it too, because this is working really well.
Yeah, you were a little late. There you go.
I'm not really giving her time to do it most of the time, because... Okay.
Alright then.
The main thing you can do is don't let her do any of the things she does. Hit her with your sword a bunch.
Yeah. I was talking earlier about how it feels like she has a million moves. Reducing that number is better for you.
My Ichimonji was a little late, so I didn't completely bust her. Did I miss a guy? I didn't. Where's she at? I'm out of beat.
You know, walking on strings somewhere, just like a butterfly.
Yeah, you go do that.
I'll be right back. And then just behind a pillar.
It stops messing with her as much in phase 2.
Mm.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
Holy shit. She got me
Oh
while
my
she
God.
got me while I was jumping.
Yeah, I got hit with the airborne. Hmm.
Dang it. Dang it, too far away.
You have to get pretty far away from that. It's not like a really big hitbox, but it's slightly bigger than it looks.
Yeah, you want to get just barely out of the way of it so that you can stab her as she lands.
Your lock-on sure is... there we go.
Because I was running away. The lock-on hates it the most when you run away.
So, this is something that I can only really notice while I'm not the one playing the game, and I can, you know, focus my attention on something else. What does it mean when the enemy's posture bar flashes in addition to going up?
If it starts, the redder it gets, the slower their posture regenerates, and it changes color whenever it changes a rate.
Oh, okay. So that's what the flash indicates. That's like a rate.
Yeah.
Okay. If I win now, it's going to be through doing it.
Oh, I see. I see. It did come with a color change. Nice.
Yeah. Yep. And then there's also the color change that comes from like getting a critical, which is different. Like when you once you get up to, oh boy.
This isn't actually that bad, although her posture's running slow, so we're going to do the no bean solution to this.
Timing them out?
Yep. I'll lose a bit of gauge doing that, but...
You also have to not die.
Yep, I'm not going to, though. They're going to hit this pillar. I had to run away because she got there.
Yeah, I saw her coming around the corner. And and she's back at half posture now.
Yep, but... I do everything perfectly. It'll be fine.
Okay.
Sadly, your timing was perfect there because you were doing everything perfectly.
And that's like the joke that I'm best at. Is noticing now, okay, I have to play perfectly from here on out, and then immediately upon saying that,
slipping on a banana peel immediately and falling face first into a stack of printer paper. Nice.
it makes the noise. That means she hates it. That attack gets me a lot, because if she does it quick enough that if I'm too late in my attack, I can't really dodge it, which means I'm getting greedy. But we all know I'm already bloodthirsty. That's not a thing I can really train out of myself. It's why when Burned beat Artorias as Hollow Warrior, it took him like 45 minutes, but he got it third try. But when I beat Artorias, it took me 3 hours, but the fight was 15 minutes.
I mean, yeah.
That basically scans.
There's perfectly safe, and then there's
getting in there.
There's like 90% safe.
I'll call myself 80% safe. Like that.
Oh, Hurricane Rana.
Off the top rope.
This rock supports me.
Ugh.
Twilight.
Getting a Superman stretch in off of this rock, anchored by my very heavy feet.
Ninjas have super frictional friction feet, just like Superman. Do that more.
You like preempted that one.
I felt it coming. Also too early actually, but it worked out.
I love it.
Okay, Grandma.
That's pretty clean.
Alright, number 1.
Do I have any items I want to use here?
Sugar?
I don't really have any sugars worth speaking of. I have a Gokon sugar I could use. Which, you know what? Sure, fuck it. That thing's worthless. Wow.
Now you have posture, I think?
Yes, my posture will go down, or will build up slower. Dang it! Windows!
Oh, shit.
Ah, there we go. It's popped up like 3 times today. I must be getting close to my thing. I still have... I'll waste a bean here.
The game will find many ways to challenge you.
Well, I missed one. I missed 2. If I don't kill them,
dear.
they will turn into things. Luckily, they are very easy to kill. And they drop spirit
Oh, I didn't know
wolves.
you could kill them at all. That's funny.
Yeah, they die in 1 hit.
Problem is, there's like 8 of them, so like going in on one can result in a very, very quick death.
I think there's like 12 of them. An important thing about the options is they cause no stun whatsoever.
Huh.
So you
They're annoying, they're damage, but like you can just fight through them.
and that's what I was going for.
I mean, if they're gonna deal chip on block anyway,
Okay, this should be the fight.
it's... God, don't say that. Okay, there.
Alright.
I had
You know
a
what
bead
makes me
left
nervous when
over
you say that.
and everything.
Shinobi execution.
Oh, got me. Oh.
You've gotten stronger since the last 3 times I beat you up.
I think it was more like 5 times. Probably more than that. Okay. You get a cutscene where Owl kills you. You can tell it's his sword because of how thick it is. Okay. Emma,
Alright.
blood.
Blood. Alright, and you got an attack pip.
Yes. Enhance attack power. Let's go to Ashina Castle. Because there's actually a lot here. And we're going to zip through a lot of it. Because I think the good way to end the stream would be to kill Genichiro. Which will be easier than killing Lady Butterfly. So here's how you do it.
Oh,
Actually,
but we're not gonna do the extra difficulty thing. Or is that off the table for some reason?
I'm not going to try to kill Headless. I'm just going to do it the lazy boy way, which is if I kill Genichiro, I'll be able to instantly go to Sinpo Temple. And if I do that, it'll take me like a minute to get to.
Otherwise, we have to kill that headless. It's the only other route to
I
Senpo Temple.
And because I don't
so
have
there's a different route.
Yeah.
Yes.
So all I want to do is just get to Sinpo for the Bell Demon. So I guess I shouldn't have fought Lady Butterfly then. Come on, let me grapple.
Welcome to grapple points.
It's like there's a specific one. You're not supposed to approach from this angle. It's like I was going at a stupid direction, and then I got hungamunga in midair. I'm only flailing around because I know the level design, and I'm trying to skip it. Bastard!
Stop it!
Stop bullying me! Go here, then go here. Drink my potions. Yeah, you can do whatever you want. You got Wahoo here, who's going to kill me.
Good old Wahoo.
I'm pretty sure you can deflect him, and when you do it, it feels amazing. Just gotta run here. And we're going to go to the antechamber. See your various men scream. The Nightjar are pretty good. Pretty sure I could get a health thing before fighting Genichiro, and I could also upgrade my gourd, because I just got a gourd seed. But instead, I'm just going to go straight for it.
Okay, so there's this thing that kept happening in my playthrough of Sekiro, and I don't know if it's going to stop happening if I go back and play this game again. And that's every time I would approach some fight, someone in my chat would say, "Oh, this fight's trying to teach you something," and the something that it was trying to teach me was, you're supposed to like parry a bunch, right? You're supposed to use a bunch of deflects. And instead of doing that, I would like do a side dodge into attack out of dodge, and then eventually it would work, and I would win. And I'd be like, well, that worked. I guess I did the right thing. And it's like, it happens with so many enemies, and one in particular is at the top of this little area, right?
Ah, this
the little
guy.
Fencer guy, who, yeah, the fencer guy who stands up and is like doing the Zatoichi thing at you.
I used to be able to do this pretty semi-consistently. I'm doing a skip.
Okay.
That's why I'm just jumping while you're talking here.
Yeah, I was about to ask. I presume that you knew what you were doing and that it was important, but...
That was almost what I needed.
Duke skipping got nothing on this.
This is usually pretty easy. This is so easy that when you come back to Ashina later, they put a grapple point there because they intended you to do this.
Huh.
After later, which is probably how they got the idea to skip it. It's pretty easy if you just find the right part of the wall you're supposed to jump off of.
But yeah, there are fights in this game that are like made to be like specific types of fights, but for the most part you can just kind of, as long as you know what you're doing, you can do what you want.
You can fiddle around with the various tools available to you, and
you have a lot of them.
No, the whole point is that ledge is not grabbable. It has little spikes around it.
Yep, it's got the anti-ninja spikes.
Like that, the kind of hostile architecture that they put up in cities where, to stop skateboarders.
Yes.
I was going to say homeless, but yes.
Also that.
The fact that they're like spikes on the edge of the thing, though, that's more akin to the like anti-skateboarder grind guard.
Right. So you can't do cool grinds off things.
Yeah. I never once got the flick
So
trick on this guy.
There's a visual tell. The moment you see his sword begin to flash as he's withdrawing it, just hit block twice.
Yeah, I mean, I got the first block, I would just never get the second.
Yeah, that's the timing.
Yeah, well, after trying it several times, it felt impossible and like something that I shouldn't be doing. So I'm just like, okay, what they're saying is don't deflect this guy. Got it.
Yeah, well, your method also worked, so it's a valid method. Which means it's correct. Sekiro himself he had a home, but it was the Hirata estate. So yes, his house was burned down.
Then he lived in a well for 3 years. All right.
Okay.
There we go.
Come on, Mr. Genichiro. So if I was looking kind of crummy at the game, Hopefully this will improve my image some. I think if I wanted to, I could have 7 potions for this fight.
There we go.
I hate it so much.
That move.
Yeah, that's his danger attack.
Felt like nothing I did was good against that move.
Right, just unload 3 arrows from close distance.
Normally you can just block it, but I can't. I blocked 3 of them there at least.
That's 1.
Hey, a heart.
Don't let up.
Just in the corner. So, speedrun. We're talking about the speedrun. The speedrun, this is the first fight where they start using a really dumb method of dead angling. They will put Genichiro in the corner over by the door and unlock and then like attack from a left angle, and Genichiro does not know how to respond, and so we'll just be infinitely stunned.
Yep, if you attack him orthogonally from his front, which you do by just getting him into a corner, turning to the right or left, and then if you use an item, he will always use that attack. Plus, he always just does it to begin with.
Oh God, lightning counter.
I never did the lightning counter. I felt pretty bad succeeding at this fight without it.
I think the same for me. This was. I might have done the lightning counter like 1 time and thought it was rad, but I could never like get it consistently. I didn't understand what it was asking for. Also, Genichiro.
I felt especially bad about it because there was even the painting in the room below. It's like, here's if you ever get struck by lightning, how to deal with it. And I'm like, when would that happen?
Surely it won't happen immediately.
Yeah, right? In the... Alright.
Alright,
well.
That's the first third of the game
Good news, you took that man apart.
Yeah, you fight... Genichiro has the, shit, what's his name in Way of the Samurai? Haribe? In that you fight him so often? Karibe. You fight Karibe so often that you just learn him.
That's kind of true.
So you fight Genichiro...
In basically every path you end up fighting Karibe somehow.
So you fight Genichiro a lot, so...
Yeah, and Genichiro here, this is like this is like the convergence point. There's a number of different... you have the Harada estate going through things, but this is like this point where you have to get to is fighting Genichiro, and then, like, that's where everything opens up, so... Sort of like the Ornstein and Smo?
Sort of like... This is like... It's both like ringing both of the bells, but also like... It's weird. Yeah, this is like ringing both of the bells and then collecting the sword, the stone, and the flower, like getting the Lord Souls.
Mm-hmm.
So we're about a third of the way done with the game. It's my favorite line in the game. Not this one, the one that comes after this. Yes, indeed. They have that in every game. Yeah.
God, it's like the how they always have a magic card in every set that has 1-word flavor text.
When does he say it? When does he say, I will seize any matter of heretical strength? Just him saying that is like, yes. I feel that. I too will seize any matter of heretical strengths.
That's I was definitely on that wavelength.
The next thing you can do right here, you literally go talk to Ishin and learn the way of we've learned from the Tengu, like, well, what's the way of the shinobi? Victory.
Yeah, you just have to win. The only thing the Ashina style cares about is that you win. So,
Oh, he's not here?
he's not there. You get a letter.
Oh.
And actually, I should have done something. If you beat Genichiro without ever getting the Ashina-style text from the Tengu, he will not be there. Even after Kuro tells you to go talk to him, this letter will be. And then you ask Emma about it, and she tells you where the Tengu is, and basically says, yeah, the Tengu is Ishin. Which is extremely obvious after you see both of them. But
cute.
But she's about to say something that's wrong. Or Wolf is. Ashina Ishin. That message I found in the well. I didn't pick that up. Anyways.
Okay.
Skills. What are these do I want? Just the good ones. Yep, just buy the ash in a tree. It's the good tree.
See, now I really regret that Senpu Temple is basically the last thing I ever found in the game.
Yeah.
And there's Kung Fu.
There is.
I equipped it, but it was so late in the game that I didn't have any time to level it up or use it because everything was like pricier then and so on.
I think that's where I would go. What did I break? I think I broke a pot full of antlers from the other side of the wall.
Nice.
Anyways, that's 3 hours of Sekiro. This game owns. To varying degrees, depending on who you are.
Basically. Now I have to figure out how a device works.
Thanks for the sub, Kalen. And on that bombshell, good night, everybody. I'm going to go steal windows.